there, my name is Hannah. I am part of the We Are Tearfund community, and this morning we are joined with the wonderful Ty.
Hello, hello.
So Ty, you have loads of wisdom because you have been working in a couple of different areas over the years. So we've got some anti-trafficking stuff, we've got some coffee stuff, starting some businesses, lots of exciting things.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought you would be doing whenever you grew up?
I didn't actually. I think I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be a pilot. I went through a whole range of things, and
yeah, that's quite a range.
It is, yeah. I mean, completely. So I think it was something that just sort of happened as I started to follow the things that I felt passionate about. Sort of things started to evolve, and kind of that's how it happened. So yeah.
Brilliant. Ty, your accent, which is rich coming from me, but tell us where you're from.
So I come from South Africa. I grew up in a little town called Richards Bay, and I basically moved over here about 10 years ago to kind of get involved with the anti-trafficking stuff. But yeah, so I feel like it's got softer, but everybody keeps telling me that it still sounds pretty South African.
Yeah, you're still sounding pretty South African to me. What first drew you to the idea of like sustainable business or helping people through your work?
So I think when I started working within sort of counter-trafficking, often if you think about the movie Taken, it kind of creates a really sort of simple story. There's the victim, and then there's a person that's done the crime. And I think often sort of issues aren't as simple as that. And so I think sort of when I looked at the problem around trafficking, sort of it was very much sort of going, well, how do you actually make a real change? And the only way that you can really do that is thinking about it from a business approach. That's where a lot of the problem starts. And so it was really just I guess a reality check to sort of say there's no point us sort of continuously trying to focus on the victim. You have to look at the big picture, and I think that was something that I needed to come to terms with and realize.
I know that you are really passionate about seeing young people taking action, seeing young people campaigning. Why is that? Why do you care about young people taking action in sustainability or in other areas like that?
I think because they can take the risks. I think the reality is that for many people, that as they grow older and that more responsibility is sort of piled on their shoulders. I think when you're young and you've got the ability to try new things and experiment and really show some of the guys that aren't able to take those kind of risks what it really looks like to sort of make the change at the local level, because that's really, you guys, young people know what's happening on the ground and they know what some of the issues are, and so when they start to sort of create solutions, often I feel like it's the most real and the most sort of down to earth that it can be, and I think those are the best type of solutions, and so that's why I'm really excited when I see young people experimenting and failing and trying, and because I think it's a process that you need to do, and you mustn't be put off by failure, especially when it comes to sort of trying to make change in your local area, because you're battling against sort of some pretty sort of difficult systems, and so I think it's really important that you take the risks while you're young and you really do experiment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's really possible? Do you think that change really is possible from a young generation?
Absolutely. I think the more that we look at it from a local point of view, I think that's where young people have the opportunity to do something really significant, because people are wanting to listen, and if you are able to sort of really get your head around what are the local issues in your area, that's when you start to tell real stories. I think the reality is that I'm seeing more and more young people that are tired of sort of seeing sort of those perfect worlds on YouTube, on Instagram and stuff like that, and they want to tell some of those real stories. And so I think the more and more I think those young people sort of rise up and sort of say, listen, this is something that I think these stories need to be told, and I want to be a part of telling those stories. I think that's when we start to see things shifting and people paying attention to the stuff that really needs addressing, because I think that's what's missing out.
Obviously you're not 100, but you know the way sometimes people get asked questions whenever they're like super old, like whenever you look back on your life, what do you wish you'd done, what do you think you missed out on? We're not saying you're old, but to look back on your life so far, what are the things you would say, like, oh, I wish I'd done that, or I wish I'd known that?
I think I wish I had challenged the way things were done more. I wish I had created more space and experimented more with different ideas. Obviously YouTube and Facebook wasn't around when I was growing up, and so that was, but I think if that was possible, I think I would have loved to have really challenged more at a local level what was happening. I think I was so busy trying to sort of save the world sort of out there, but I just wanted to, I think if I look back, I wish I had just looked around me and seen what I could have done sort of in my neighborhood. I mean, I think the real reflection that I have in terms of, you know, whatever it is that you're wanting to change in the world, I think it's so important that you look to yourself in terms of what state sort of you're in and where you're at, because I think a lot of the time, if we aren't really real with ourselves in terms of the anxieties, the feelings of, you know, kind of sadness that often we feel when we're dealing with some of these issues, if we're not processing these emotions that we're feeling and we're just kind of getting on with the job, I think the problem is that we're not going to be a part of it for the long term. And so I'm really excited about seeing young people taking stock of what it's going to cost to pursue the things that they're passionate about. You know, what does it look like to change our world sort of inside, so that we can ultimately sort of go out and change the world.
Great, Ty, thank you so much for sharing some of your wisdom and your expertise with us. That was just fab to hear some of your thoughts about how you've been getting on in your life. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to We Are Tearfund. Thank you so much for watching.